Are you ready for football season? Yes, you heard right. The NFL kicks off in less than 50 days, and WagerTalk and Gold Sheet have you covered with the new Gold Sheet NFL Summer Guide. The Gold Sheet NFL Summer Guide is over 80 pages of actionable NFL handicapping information to help you prep for this season from a betting perspective, and best of all, the guide is free. This includes lines for every NFL game, schedule with Ralph Michaels' exclusive power ratings, position-by-position breakdown with every NFL player that made a start last season, exclusive NFL health reports for each team, and much more. Just go to thegoldsheet.com, and the guide is available on the front page with no sign-up or information needed.
All right, guys, welcome in here on the Thursday edition of the NBA Tip-Off Show, powered by WagerTalk.com, as we are on to game number 3 in the Western Conference Finals tonight. The Clippers hosting the Phoenix Suns, and what a shock. The Clippers find themselves in a 2-0 hole here, trying to get one back at the Staples Center tonight. Will they or won't they? And will this be just another, another series this year for the Clippers in which they like going down 2-0? We'll see what the fellas think about this opportunity tonight for them as we welcome in Ski Profit back in the house, as well as Stevie in the Middle Merrill and Tony Finn here to help break it all down for you guys. As we have learned there is a Chris Paul sighting in the building. We have also learned that Chris Paul, in fact, is going to go here tonight for the Suns. Will that make a difference? We'll let you know. But, Ski, let me start with you, my man. Last night, pretty darn impressive, huh? The Trae Young show came to Milwaukee and just burnt the whole city down, man. Listen, what else can you say? The kid is a star. And it's not like Giannis went MIA. So how impressive was the Atlanta win? Or do you think that that is pretty hard to repeat moving on in this series?
I mean, yeah, it's pretty impressive. I want to say every game won now. They've come out and punched the other team in the mouth. They've shown they're a scrappy, talented group. And what are teams going to do to stop Trae Young? It seems like they're trying everything. For me, just watching the game, I think Brook Lopez is a little bit, or will become unplayable. Like, I think Giannis will have to play the center or somebody, just because on that pick and roll, if he sits back in the paint, Trae Young is going to get whatever he wants. So we'll see how that series unfolds.
Yeah, going to be very interesting to see. And Ski, what do you got tonight at WagerTalk.com? Anything up on the board?
I'm going to have 1 to 2 plays in WNBA. Ooh. And probably 1 to 2 in MLB. And as far as NBA, the total, I'm just waiting on a starting lineup, and I'll make my decision. Mm-hmm. And we'll talk about the side here today.
Perfect. All right, good deal. And Merrill, they just love to win on the road, those Atlanta Hawks, don't they? Wow. Taking down Philadelphia. Now they go to Milwaukee. I mean, Philadelphia and Milwaukee, 2 teams that were phenomenal at home this year, very profitable. Atlanta says, the hell with that. So how impressed were you last night with what you saw?
To that coaching change March 1st, Atlanta's had the best record in the Eastern Conference, better than the Milwaukee Bucks, better than the Sixers, better than the Nets. In fact, the Suns and Hawks over the last couple of months have the 2 best records in the NBA. They very well might meet in the finals right now. They're the favorite to do so, I would say. I mean, this is Eastern Conference is probably a toss-up still with the 1-0 lead, but the Suns obviously a heavy favorite to make it now with the 2-0 lead. And it's sometimes, we look at, the big picture, we forget that these are the 2 best teams in the league the last couple of months. So maybe it shouldn't be that much of a surprise.
Yeah, no, it certainly shouldn't. But I got to tell you, Finn, the markets were certainly surprised because as soon as that game was over last night, the series price, my word, what was it, 7-1? I think it was. I think it was minus 600, minus 700. Milwaukee, they're under $2 now as a series. So is now the time to jump on Milwaukee here, or is it just an unbelievable overreaction? You think?
Well, no. If you like Milwaukee to win Game 2, then I think at this point in time, a push in on that series price would behoove you. I think, in my opinion, as Teddy Covers always says, if you like what team you like in the upcoming game, you should like in the series, and if the math makes sense, push in on it. Yes.
Kind of crazy the way it absolutely. It just plummeted there, guys. As soon as it was down, and then of course Atlanta. Their future odds on winning the championship improved. It was wild. Not something that we have not seen, obviously, all NBA season long. All right, guys, let's dive into this game here tonight because backs up against the wall. What a shocker for the Clippers here tonight as they got to host the Suns, trying not to go down 3-0, but it's certainly a familiar spot for them here. They opened up as pretty much a favorite until the Chris Paul announcement. And then, of course, we saw that flip the other way. I'm seeing 1.5s, ones 1.5s, and I'm seeing the total right around the 221.5, 222 mark. So, Ski, I'll come to you. I mean, the Clippers, if nothing else, are very consistent this playoff season. They seem as Atlanta wins game ones on the road. Apparently the Clippers like to lose the first two on the road, and they get back to the state. I didn't realize the Staples Center was that much of a home court advantage to them, but it has been. What do you think we're going to see tonight from this team?
Yeah, they have the Suns right where they want them, as far as how it's been panning out for the Clippers lately. It's going to be a little bit of a different breakdown for me than how you guys are used to hearing me talk. But, Ty Lue, he's really good at making adjustments. That's the reason why they can come down from these deficits. He made a small adjustment in game one, tried to bring a little bit more defense in. And he talked in his press conference saying there's some more adjustments he can make. So I'm sure we'll see that here today. So just touching on the total really quick, it's going to depend on who he decides to go out there in the starting lineup. I know we have Chris Paul back, who I always say is, at the end of the game, is going to slow the pace down, take the air out the ball. And if you're going to start Patrick Beverley and Zubac again, it doesn't sound like a whole lot of offense to me. So that's what I'm looking for there. If you start Batum and Terrence Mann, hey, I think you can get up and down the court. And I think the defense suffers. So that's what I'm going to wait on to play the total. For the side, I just feel like the books are begging you to take the Suns here. Only, 1 point? And on the first half, they're plus money. I know they've been winning all these games. I looked at how teams have been doing in this situation in the playoffs with these short spreads. So 1.5 point spreads since 2019 in the playoffs. The Dogs are 15-5 straight up and against the spread. So when they're begging you to take this short favorite, they lose. And if you look at this year, it's 5-1. So the Clippers competed with them, and they could have very well won that last game. I think at the house, they have a very good shot. The Suns all year, very good at home, not as great on the road. So if I'm putting my money down here, it's going to be on the Clippers side. And it's going to pay me to watch it because I honestly want them to lose, but we're here to make money.
You feeling all right, Ski? You take a temperature at all? Because I think you just complimented the Clipper. I could be wrong. Maybe I heard it wrong. Robin will have to double-check the tape there, but I believe Ski actually sided with the Clippers. So interesting there. And Merrill, listen, everyone talked about, oh, my goodness, how do you allow them to score that bucket and this and rules? Give credit where credit is due. You got to execute that. They executed it. They win the game, the Phoenix. They go up 2-0. But what are we going to get from Chris Paul tonight? And are you worried about maybe Phoenix being a little bit out of sync with him back on the court, or is it just like riding a bike? He's going to fit right back in, no problem?
Yeah, I mean, I think, it's not like he was injured and he was sickly. He's just been out. But, we talked about Shaquille said that magic number is the 5-day layoff, and after that, the rust starts to kick in. And of course, the Suns had 6 days of rest because they played Sunday, didn't play till the next Sunday. So Chris Paul said, 10 or 11 days now. So that would be a little bit of a concern. And the other thing is, it's not like they played poorly without him. They played well without him. They won both games, obviously. So, I'm not sure they need to change anything. So I think it could be a little bit of a hiccup. And the line move was interesting on this. I did Gabe Morency's show on Tuesday night, right after the game ended at midnight Eastern, Wednesday morning. And FanDuel was the only book that had a line out. I actually then saw one at DraftKings. They had -1 Phoenix. No other offshores had a line or anything. They had no total. Yet most of the offshores and the sharper books the next day, as you said, Joe, did open the Clippers -1. So before the Chris Paul injury information was really known, at least, the two advanced numbers were Phoenix -1, then it went to +1, and now it's -1, like you said. So hasn't been a ton of movement. The one thing we got to talk about once again, I couldn't find a first half number when I was talking to Gabe a couple nights ago, but we knew what it was going to be. And it once again is a role reversal that we've talked about. And Gabe was actually the first guy to mention this angle to me about a month ago, that over the last 15 years or so, teams down 0-2 in the first half of game 3, those teams down 0-2 are like 94-40. And it's been a little bit below 500 this year, but it's been because of the drastic over adjustments is why that angle doesn't work anymore. And here again, LA Clippers +1 for the game, but -1.5 for the first half. So basically that's saying Clippers -1.5 first half, Phoenix -2.5 second half. And the overall game total, 221.5. It's 108.5 first half. So it's 113 for the second half. So pretty big discrepancies between both the first and second half sides and totals. I don't necessarily agree with it, but if history is any indicator, the Clippers should come out strong here in the first half, at least, of game 3. And keep in mind, they were down by 6 late. I had them +4.5 in game 2. And obviously they could have won outright, so I wasn't sweating it, but it could have gone either way. And it's been a pretty tight series. But one last point, you and I talked about this about a week and a half, Joe. I was like, if you like the Clippers when they were down 3-2 to the Mavs, they were 14-1 before the series started, 6-1 to win the championship. 14-1 going into Game 6 of the first round, and then right after that win, they were 6-1 again after one single playoff win, which I'd never seen happen before. Their odds got cut in half, and I was like, man, why would you ever play the futures with the Clippers? Just play the damn adjusted series price when they're down 0-2. They were down 0-2 last round. They win. Now they're down 0-2 again. I mean, if they go on to win this thing, which I don't think they will, you're going to get like a 50 to 60-1 payoff using that strategy like we had talked about. So, yeah, been here, done that. Like you said, they got the Suns right where they want them, down 0-2, I guess.
It's been such a interesting journey here, Tony Finn, for these Clippers this year. The whole Kawhi thing kills me because, they just won't say, listen, he's done. He's not playing again. Maybe, obviously for this year, for next year, because I got to believe, Tony, the minute they do that, this line is going to go absolutely bonkers, and it's going to go over the top. So maybe they're holding out hope. But the reality is, listen, Kawhi, no Kawhi. Phoenix's defense doesn't get talked about, and yet they've only given up, I believe, more than 109 points twice in 12 playoff games this season. So that defense is for real, too. The line continues to push up. Are you leaning over? Do you think that defense shuts them down? Like, what do you think we're going to see here tonight?
Well, Ski makes a good point. It's absolutely true. I think right now I have the line, or at least the lineup set status quo. I don't think the Suns are going to do anything differently. I don't. Maybe they will have to if Patrick Beverley is not a part of the starting rotation or Zubac. But listen, Patrick Beverley's done a decent job. I mean, in fact, I think he's been pretty animated. He's been passionate. He's been out there. And at times, I think he's bothered the hell out of Booker, in truth, despite the fact that Booker's got his. The Clippers' success in this, in their 2 games, if you want to label it success because they've lost both, has been really this whole series has been their ability to score from distance. Okay, they're making 7 more in the first 2 games than the Suns from distance. So the math is really what's kept the math in that. If you believe in math, and I think everything's math, is that's what's kept them close. Truth is, I believe it was goaltending. I believe they won. I think it was offensive goaltending. I think they won game 2. The fact that they didn't execute, and had they won this game 2, I believe you would have seen a 2 or 3 point difference in this line. Truthfully, a pick 'em is probably accurate, Joe. But I would have said, listen, they've played these 2 games close. I'm on the Clippers at home, right? But I think, but after doing my due diligence and the fact that we do see the return of CP3, I have a hard time going against the Suns. I just do.
Hey, Joe, I got to jump in as the rules analyst. I want to be that guy, by the way. It's one of the best jobs in all of basketball. The rules analyst, they go to him once like every game for 2 minutes. He gets paid a full paycheck. But my understanding, Tony, is that can't be goaltending because it's not a shot. That ball can't go in the hoop. So I don't think there's ever a goaltending.
It's an anomaly. It's the only time I think you can actually do that is on an inbound pass like that. There's no other rule like
it's
that.
Not a shot. Right. If that had gone straight in the hoop, if it goes straight in the hoop, it's a turnover, I think, right? Would probably be a
that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
It can't be a basket from the inbound pass, so you can't goaltend a non-shot.
Was it touched?
My opinion.
Here's my question: was it touched before Ayton slammed it through? Did it get touched, or was it clean? Was it a pass? Was it a clean pass? That's my question.
I think it was clean, but I'm not sure that matters either, does it?
So if it gets clipped, you're thinking what? Then it becomes in play and then it's a shot?
Yeah, then the ball's in the cylinder, and it doesn't even have to be a shot. If the ball's in the cylinder,
that's possible. I don't think that happened, but I understand
that's just
where you're
I don't know. I don't know.
That might
interesting.
Be right. It was crazy. And
Steve
the fans
could be
Phoenix,
completely accurate.
Yeah,
well, the fans in Phoenix, so the whole replay was about adding time to the clock because it had buzzed, but there was like 0.9, 0.8, whatever it should have been. But what's funny is the fans in the arena, I think 90% of them that whole time thought they were reviewing if it was goaltending or not, if the basket was even going to count, when that was never the issue. So it was a very strange reaction. And by the way, that last minute and a half, I went back and timed it. It took almost 40 minutes to complete the game when there was a minute and a half remaining in regulation. There was like 4 or 5 instant replays. I mean, Ski had housekeeping come 3 times. Tony Finn could have extradited himself to 3 countries without extraditions. I mean, and Joe Ranieri and Gabe Morency could have caught up on old times for like a half hour at least. So, I mean, it was painfully slow.
Yeah, no, it was like watching paint dry. It really was.
I fell asleep at the end.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't think it was ever going to end. I didn't think it was going to end. That's for sure. I kind of like, all right, so they got 1 6-point dogs, like it was good to go. But I think the video of Wilbon and their face, man, up in the thing was just priceless. It said everything, man. They're still sitting there right now, dumbfounded. But listen, give credit. You gotta execute that, right? Otherwise, if it's a little higher, a little lower, it doesn't happen. So give credit to Crowder and company. But
hey, Joe, and before we leave that thought, though, let's not forget your boy PG-13, who actually I was about to mention on Gabe's show in this show. I was about to stop throwing him under the bus. I was like, he's finally stepped up.
Yes.
They're going to win the game. He hits the game-winning shot. And then he misses 2 free throws to allow that basket to win the game. Otherwise, it's a tie if he hits one of the 2. And as an underdog bettor, I was happy to see him do that. But, we got to bring up, Ski's boy PG-13 once again because he found a way to choke.
Listen, I was waiting for Ski to do it, and he totally blindsided us by blowing smoke up there. Like, he was like, I thought for sure he was going to kill Pete, but no, I thought it was back to Pandemic P, but no, he went the other way. So I'll leave it.
I got to give him a break today since I'm going to put my money on it.
Not a problem. Exactly. So we're going to lay it out there. Bottom line, Clippers have been here and done that. So, in addition to this game, though, guys, there are a bunch of baseball games going on here tonight, and I would encourage you guys to head over to WagerTalk.com. You heard Ski mention WNBA. There's some NHL. A lot going on in the world of sports. Great opportunity for you guys to make it a very profitable Thursday here. In fact, Tony Finn, I didn't ask you, my man, what do you got locked and loaded here tonight at WagerTalk.com?
I have one baseball, just one MLB for tonight. And I have not yet made a decision on this NBA game. I really just haven't made a decision what I like and what my heart and my trip handicapping tells me to do. The math really doesn't tell me to do such. So I waited for the show because these guys are a lot smarter than me. I'll listen to you guys.
All right, very good then, man. Locked and loaded MLB tonight. Make sure that you visit Tony Finn as well as Steve Merrill ready to go. And you heard Ski. He's getting ready to go. WNBA. Locked and loaded. So, gentlemen, let's go at a lot of different ways we can approach this game, from the halves to the props to the sides to the totals. So we'll ask you to just point us in a direction here of one of those plays you like. So, Ski, we'll start with you, man. Lead us off here on your buzzer beater best bet. Where are you going here tonight?
Well, I didn't mention any props. If I am going to play props today, I mean, it's very hard to ignore. I feel like I say it all the time, but Ayton, he just keeps eating, and they have nobody for him. Zubac is terrible. And if they don't have Zubac on the floor, they're just too small. So I like his points and rebounds. They increased it a little bit, 27.5, but still not 30. So I think he's going to go over. I would probably lean Chris Paul under his point total of 17.5, just because he'll probably be a little bit rusty here. Not sure what Cameron Payne's number is, but I would think he has less responsibilities with Chris Paul back. So I would lean towards his props under as well. But, best bet, I have to use my time on the props because, like Joe said, I don't want to blow too much smoke.
Yeah.
They are still the Clippers. But I know the NBA wants to extend this series. They don't want Suns in 4 again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to roll with those dogs, those short dogs, to continue to have success. Clippers plus the 1.5 points.
If it ain't broke, you don't fix it. Being a big motto here all year long on the show in the NBA season. And no, the Knicks are not playing. All right, there, let's go. And did you say Chris Paul 17.5 points? Is that what they got him at? Oof.
I believe that's what I saw. Yeah, under.
Yeah, that's correct.
Woo, okay. Merrill? Yeah, Todd, what'd you say, Todd?
No, I have 16.5 even.
Oh,
so
wow.
I see that right now on Pinnacle. Yeah.
Going down. Okay, interesting. That's where I thought it would be a little bit closer to that. All right, Merrill, come on. Let's go. 60 seconds on the clock, props and all. Where are you going tonight?
Yeah, first of all, I got to do a little shameless promotion. A 3-0 sweep last night. I've now swept the board 5 of the last 6 days in all sports on an 11-2 run during that span. And baseball's been 7-1 the last 8 plays. I'm going to pass in baseball tonight, but I do have a strong best bet for this NBA game tonight. So I'm going to turn to an NBA player prop here in a moment for the free play. But once again, just red hot in all sports, baseball and basketball for the month of June. It's a great time to get one of those direct subscriptions. Stop trying to guess when you win or lose. Win consistently. Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com. And I'm going to look at the Chris Paul prop under. Ski kind of touched on it there, and I'm going to tag along. All that you have to do with these props is normally they have to play. I don't know. You got to check. Sometimes they have to start, but it's normally they have to play. Like I said, they went 2-0 without Paul. They won both games. He's obviously a key player. But, yeah, Joe, I'm seeing 17.5 points, 30.5 for the triple, points, rebounds, and assists. So I think you could choose from either one of those. I'll make it official, though. I'll say under 17.5 points because I'm afraid he might get a lot of assists still but not score. So we'll say Chris Paul under 17.5. I'm not sure he has to have a big game tonight, especially with them up 2-0 in Game 3 of the series.
All right, there you go. Boom, look at that. Nothing but wrist there. He nailed it. All right, Merrill. All right, Tony, listen, locked and loaded tonight. MLB over at WagerTalk.com. You sound like you're on the fence. You're going Switzerland with this game tonight, but there might be a play a little bit later. So point us into a direction here that one of the angles to approach this here tonight.
Best bet. My best bet would be a prop, and Ski outlined it. It's all about Ayton and how the Clippers have been, or their inability to defend Ayton for the most part. That last slam dunk for the game winner is just a microcosm of what he's been able to do. So is it DeMarcus Cousins or is it Zubac? It's interesting is when and this goes to the total guys too as well. If you're liking the over a little bit or the under, depends on what you like. But if Cousins gets a lot of minutes, with Cousins on the floor, the Clippers have a net rating that's minus 38.2, which means it's 138.2 points per 100 possessions with Cousins. Yeah, and that's per NBA Advanced Stats. So I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go with the fact that it doesn't matter whether it's Cousins or Zubac. Really, this is an athletic center. This is a much different animal. And I just blew that badly.
No, you can finish it. No, but finish it. Go.
Okay. I'm sorry. I forgot what this is it. This is a different animal than Goran, or not Goran, but what they had or what the Clippers had in Utah, and that big. He's a great defensive player, all defensive player of the year. A young Ayton, awful athletic, awful good. I think 27.5 points, rebounds, assists is far too low. In fact, I think he hits the mid-30s or more. I think it's a great bet. Over 37.5 for Mr. Ayton.
And we're just going to keep buzzing him, I think.
I guess.
But correct me if I'm wrong, though, here, guys, because wasn't it prior to this, obviously, when Chris Paul was on the court with Ayton, he didn't score quite like what he has scored here. So are you worried that when Chris Paul comes back, it's a little bit more balanced than as opposed to Ayton getting his? Because he didn't score, I believe, more than 15 points in 6 of the other 7 playoff games when Chris Paul was on the court. Just saying. Throwing it out there. Chris Paul's back tonight. I still don't understand that 17.5-point line. Let's take a look at the best.
Hey, Joe, real quick, if you could actually have the best of both worlds here, because once again, I didn't play the under 30.5 points, rebounds, assists, because maybe Paul does feed Ayton more since he had a monster game. That's another reason to like under 17.5 points instead of the 30.5, I think. So there's something to think about there as well, because why wouldn't you go to what worked in game 2, even if you're Chris Paul coming back?
What was
in previous series? The previous series wasn't really going against. I mean, he went against better centers.
Good point.
That he's going to see tonight. So I think the game plan will be to run through Ayton.
Yeah. See, I love it. You did it in a roundabout way there, Ski. You took a shot at the Clippers without actually taking a shot, because it's not like they got any centers worth of crap here on the Clippers. So very good there. I would appreciate that, Ski. I like the fact the way he did it. He went a roundabout and took a shot at him anyway. Best bet recap here. Clippers. I can't believe it. Somebody screenshot that. Ski, bagging the Clippers, a 1.5 here tonight. Merrill says, yeah, Chris Paul, welcome back, and you're 8 points. We'll go under 17.5 here tonight. And Finn says, listen, Chris Paul, no Chris Paul. DeAndre Ayton is going to eat here, folks. Go over 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I didn't hear anybody know what Paul George's number is, points-wise.
Yeah, I was actually looking at that as well, because you got to figure he'd have a monster game.
It's got to be 30s, right? I mean, it's got to be.
30.5, Joe. 30.5 to the over.
Yeah,
and
it's got to go over.
His triple is 44.5. So basically, they're saying an additional 14 rebounds and assists. So I'd like the over 44.5 a lot more than the 30.5, because
interesting.
You only have to get him to get 14 points, rebounds, assists to get over that. So that seems more doable.
Yeah, he's got to have one of those games, right, Ski? What are you thinking?
Probably, but don't overlook Reggie Jackson. He's the only other guy stepping up, points or threes. I'll look at Reggie.
All right, we got to get out of here. If he backs one more Clipper, I'm out, man. Like, dude, you gotta check yourself, Ski. God damn, you all right? You feeling all right? Bottom line, guys, best bets also locked. Tony told you MLB ready to go here tonight. Merrill and his shameless plug threw a whole lot of crap at you. Bottom line, Steve Merrill ready to go. And, of course, you got Ski. Red hot WNBA, NBA here tonight. Of course, MLB. Plenty of ways to make it a profitable Thursday here, guys. It starts by visiting these gentlemen over at WagerTalk.com. Ski Profit, Steve Merrill, Tony Finn. Get over there. Get a gun right now here, guys. And then, of course, hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner. Come back, because we have a very special edition of the NBA Tip-Off Show tomorrow, heading into the weekend, so plenty of opportunities all week long here. But it starts by coming back and joining us. So on behalf of Ski, Steve Merrill, and Tony Finn, best of luck with your plays here tonight, guys. We'll see you again tomorrow. Good luck.
Each and every Monday is $9 Monday at WagerTalk.com. All daily picks packages are priced at only $9, including $40 5% best bets. As an added bonus, all new users will receive $25 in wager bucks credited to their accounts, available for immediate use after their initial $9 Monday purchase. So make sure to take advantage of $9 Mondays at WagerTalk.com.